Alright guys, so today I'm going to make a video about Lost Origin booster boxes and just the set in general, because I do think it's going to be the next set that pops off in Sword and Shield. Some people think it might be Brilliant Stars, and I have Brilliant Stars graph over here as well. As we can see, Brilliant Stars really hasn't taken off at the beginning of this year like a lot of other sets, such as Lost Origin. I mean, we go back start of January, this was a $135 box. It's now pushing 170. Lost Origin has made a huge move already, along with Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, and I do think it's going to be due for an even larger move once it sells out on the Pokemon Center. As we see here, it's still in stock. You can get it for $143.64. But going rate, according to TCG Player, is about 171 at this point. So it really just is an inevitability before the set sells out, and I do think it's going to be a lot sooner rather than later, and with good reason. I mean, when we look at the set, it's a very strong set, obviously, of the Giratina, which I believe, again, I just made a video comparing Lost Origin to Fusion Strike and Brilliant Stars. The Giratina was at 178. It's now at 181.63, so this thing just continues to move up in price, and I'm not actually surprised by that at all. But it is the second best chase card in Sword and Shield behind the Moonbryon, the Umbreon from Evolving Skies. So, I mean, it's got an insane chase card. You have the Aerodactyl, again, now at $91, moving up as well. Rotom's over $30. The Pikachu VMAX is almost at $30 as well, which is quite interesting. And then you have the Pikachu V at $20. Then, you have a couple Giratinas. You have the Berserker. When I did compare this to Fusion Strike and Brilliant Stars, I was a bit critical of it not having as much depth as a set like Fusion Strike, or having much lower tier depth such as a set like Brilliant Stars, but I do think it's going to do very well, obviously, and I do think it's a really good investment right now in comparison to a set like Fusion Strike, which is at, 210, 220 now. It's starting to hit a little bit of resistance at that point, but again, you can get a 50% discount on Fusion Strike and just buy Lost Origin instead, which will probably do better in the long run, even though it had a massive reprint. As you can see, it kind of looks like most of the reprint volume's already been chewed up by the market. Going back to, about the end of April last year, we're at $170. We saw a low point middle of October below 130 at 127. We're already back up over 170. So, it only took a few months to get back to this, well, maybe 6 months, but Lost Origin is on the move. I do think it will be the next set to blow up in Sword and Shield. And just to add a little more credence to this, if you go to Reddit and you type in Lost Origin and you look at comments or threads, there's just so many comments and so many discussions about Lost Origin. It seems like everyone's on the Lost Origin train right now, and that's kind of why I don't advise people to move into this unless you're getting boxes from the Pokemon Center at 140. Again, why would you buy boxes at 170 when you can still get them at MSRP? It's tough for me to tell. Going back a few months, I really would have thought that Brilliant Stars would do better than Lost Origin in the long run. It seems like that's probably not going to be the case, and people are going to favor the Giratina and the Aerodactyl and just having the massive chase cards over having more depth. So yeah, I mean, Lost Origin's probably going to be the second or third best set out of Sword and Shield behind Evolving Skies and potentially Chilling Reign. I mean, some people might throw Fusion Strike in there. I personally said that I don't know which one's going to do better, whether it's Lost Origin or Fusion Strike. To me, it doesn't really matter. You're going to do well whatever you're in. It just makes sense to get into Lost Origin at a better price. So yeah, I mean, now is really the time, guys, when it's still in stock on the Pokemon Center. Pick up boxes now. I mean, this isn't financial advice, but if there was a time to pick up Lost Origin, it would be in these next few months while it's still in stock. I really don't see this box being in stock on the Pokemon Center much longer. I mean, just every day I hop on Reddit and there's, 15, 20 discussions going on about Lost Origin in comparison to other boxes. All that tells me is that soon enough, the boxes are going to dry up and it's going to be gone. So that said, I'm still not buying a ton of Lost Origin right now. I may pick up one more case. I'm thinking about it. I already have 31 booster boxes and a case of booster bundles. I'm moving into Scarlet and Violet. The set I'm looking at right now is Paldea Evolved. You have the Iono here. You have the Magikarp, Raichu, and then, you know, some of the new legendaries. Obviously, Tyranitar's not a new legendary, but it's here. You have Chien-Pao, Chuyu, you have the Tinkaton, a lot of the new starting Pokemon, Fuecoco, Sprigatito Aka here. Meowscarada, the evolved form, obviously, you know, just Chien-Pao, super cool card as well. I love the artwork in this set, and you know, there's a lot of depth. Like you can see, we're already at the end of the first page. These cards are still $8. Now, Paldea Evolved, as that's loading, we can look at this. Paldea Evolved's been out for about a year at this point. We've seen it kind of already bottom out here, you know, in the $90 range. We haven't seen it drop below this. And we're back up to 106 approximately right now. As you can see down here, tons of sales every day in the 104, 107 range. You know, I really love Paldea Evolved. To me, this is going to be probably the best set so far out of Scarlet and Violet main sets, you know, excluding 151. Just getting the second page too. Like, I love some of these cards. The Sudowoodo, only $6.56, but, you know, amazing artwork. You know, the Marill here, $7.45. Like, who would think a Marill illustration rare would be $7.45? But people love the artwork. Like, this just goes to show, guys, so underrated right now. And, you know, fair enough if people want to focus on something like Lost Origin. I totally get it. We're going to see a massive move in Sword and Shield this year. Once Lost Origin, once Brilliant Stars, once Astral Radiance, and once Silver Tempest are out on the Pokemon Center, that's really going to be it. It's going to be the secondary market at that point picking up these boxes. So I don't blame you if you want to get in now. I mean, like, you know, if Fusion Strike's pushing 210, 220, obviously the same thing's going to happen. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but a near guarantee the same thing will happen to Lost Origin. A near guarantee that the same thing will happen to Brilliant Stars. Obviously, Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest as well, maybe not to the same degree, but we're going to see massive moves in these products this year. So I don't blame people if you want to get in. That said, you know, Scarlet and Violet's underrated, guys. I'm moving into this. This is going to be my playground for the next couple of years, and I might not see huge gains on these until, who knows, 2027, 2028. Paldea Evolved's already a year old, right? So it might be 2-3 years before we see, you know, a huge gain where this is $200 a box or so. Who knows? But it's a great set. I mean, like, no one's denying that it's a good set. It's got a ton of depth. Maybe not a massive chase card. We haven't really seen that in any of Scarlet and Violet so far, which is kind of a critique a lot of people have about the sets. Fair enough. But it's deep, great artwork, you know, new legendaries, new starters. People are going to want to open this in the future, especially if they're getting into Pokemon with Gen 9. I know this video was about Lost Origin. So just to conclude, you guys do what you want. You know, if you want to buy Lost Origin, fair enough. I already have my position. I'm happy with my position. If you're going to buy, try and buy from the Pokemon Center and save yourself $27, $28 a box. It makes sense. You're getting it straight from Pokemon. Obviously, try and buy in quantities of 6, which is the maximum, but you could obviously just purchase multiple times. The boxes are probably going to be a bit beat up because they ship in their original box. They don't double box if you've never bought from Pokemon before. But with that said, I mean, I've never really had too many problems. You might get the small dent or whatever, not a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say on this. You guys let me know in the comments which set you think is going to pop off next. Again, just to finish the video, full disclosure, I have 31 booster boxes of Lost Origin. I have 25 of the booster bundles, which is like another 4 booster boxes. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like. Stay safe wherever in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.